Imagine this. You're sitting in a dimly lit room. Outside, rain taps against the window like a metronome, measuring out the passing time. In front of you lie old letters, photographs, fragments of memories, and suddenly it hits you. In all these years, you have never once seen a woman who truly became an adult. You've seen them change hairstyles. You've seen them change men. But inside, they're still the same little girls, with the same whims, the same fears, the same games. This isn't an insult. It's biology. Evolution never wired them to grow up the way men do. A man had to mature, to protect, to build, to lead. A woman had to remain emotional, receptive, dependent, to bond, to hold on, to spark a man's instinct to provide and protect. Estrogen isn't about calm maturity. It's about constant emotional swings, rapid shifts from passion to distance. Nature designed it this way for a reason. A woman who matures and becomes emotionally self-sufficient would stop needing a man, and that would mean she would stop ensuring the continuation of the bloodline. You think time and experience make them wise. They don't. Experience simply makes them more cautious in their choice of manipulations. Where a man, after life hits him, learns to hold his frame. A woman, after a blow, learns to play the victim or the seductress more convincingly. Not because she's evil, but because her nervous system and her hormones are tuned for survival through adapting to someone else's strength, not building her own. Here's the paradox. The older a woman gets, the more refined she becomes at using the same tactics she used at 20. The same games, but with better makeup, expensive wine, and perfectly timed pauses in her words. You've seen a man pushing toward his goal, despite exhaustion, pain, and loneliness. And you've seen a woman drop everything if there's no one beside her to carry her emotional weight. Here's the hard truth. You expected her to follow the masculine path of maturity. But instead, you got the endless loop of emotions, fear of loss, and the search for a strong shoulder. Because in your world, maturity demands autonomy. And, for a woman, autonomy is anti-selection, an evolutionary dead end. That's why they cling to relationships, to attention, to drama. Because without it, their psyche begins to crumble, like a sandcastle under the wave. So, why does this change everything? Because once you understand it, you stop demanding the impossible from a woman. You stop expecting her to be like you. You stop resenting her for her childlike nature, and start seeing where the game ends and your power begins. You see that her mature words are just a new mask for old instincts. You realize she will keep pulling you into an emotional vortex again and again, until you plant yourself firmly on the rock of your own autonomy. Freedom begins where you stop looking for what evolution never gave her. Strength begins where you see the game, and choose whether to play it or not. Desire stops being a chain when you understand. Behind her passion, there is always instinct, and behind her coldness, the same biology. They don't grow up, and it's exactly that knowledge that makes you a grown man. Not because you've become cynical, but because you've begun to see. Hold your frame, protect your autonomy, and remember, the man who expects masculine maturity from a woman will always be disappointed. The man who understands her nature will always choose, on his own terms.